Hey everyone, so we're back for the third part of the stream. So where we left off is we kind of have most of our modules all made. Still like some stuff missing, but I'm not going to worry about that too much for now. I'm going to probably get on with some sculpting and texturing. So that's a plan for today. And I just got a little more reference as well for other assets I can make for this environment. And maybe doing something like this for the ground texture, I'm thinking. So yeah. I reckon just trying to start with the best place to start is probably might start with the steps maybe. Need something easy to start with. So just gonna open ZBrush up, just make sure I've got my settings. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna sculpt over this base kind of block out of the steps, and then I'll sculpt over it in ZBrush so I can get some nice edge damage and stuff. Because yeah, the main thing with this kind of project is I don't want to be so clean and pristine like these like this image here. I want it to be kind of like Dark Souls inspired in a way. It's a bit more damaged. So I'll just close this for 1 second and just get my preferences set up on ZBrush. Just 2 seconds. Should work now, I think. Cool. Might just duplicate that module out. And I'll just export that as an OBJ. See how it does with setting it to triangles. Okay, so much triangulator inside Blender instead. So I just come here and go to, oh, not that one, do triangulate. And sorry, just thinking how I want to actually separate this into a texture. Yeah, let's export the whole thing for now, I think. I don't want to sculpt on all these stairs. It'll be way too much work and way too much texture space. So I'll do like a handful, and then the rest will be repeating. So that's the plan with that. I'll just delete this one, because sometimes when you import twice over the same subtool, it'll offset your transforms. It looks like it's fine here though. Sometimes it happens, and it means when you export back into Blender or whatever your program is, everything will be offset. So, which is a bit annoying. So I'm just gonna pull my Cintiq up so I can actually sculpt. Oh, it's the wrong pen. It's this one. Okay, just gotta change my Wacom settings real quick, sorry. 2 seconds. it's like a setup for Maya or something like that. Okay, cool. So come over here and just pick a nice map cap so I can just see what I'm sculpting. And this one I usually like for doing rock stuff. So let's go auto groups. You can still see that it didn't export that well, so I have to go back to Blender quickly. Didn't do a good job triangulating. Only did the modify on the top one, so let's come here and then link those modifiers. And actually, in hindsight, I could have done just triangulate in here anyway. Just forgot about that. So let's come back here and re-import it again. And just want to make sure my export settings are still there. They are. That's good. So just part a few of these. Actually, what I might do, I might do the center ones so they get an AO bake. Just turn off shadows because they're really distracting. Just bring that down a bit. Auto group, split hidden. Use my trim dynamic. The resolution's a bit shit. So what I might do is just gonna my scene size is a bit bad, so I might. So what I'll do is I clone that and make that I think it has to be smaller. I can't remember. Is that better or worse? That's better. It's just like a little workaround to get around ZBrush's weird scaling. Auto groups. So it's probably too decimated. I'll just go back a few steps. It's alright. And yep. Auto group that, and pull these ones out. Split hidden. Select that. And then decimate those ones. Flatten out these edges a bit. Let's pull this one up and split this one out and pull this one down. Adding some cut-ins to this. And I won't be retopping these manually. I'll be just doing it in an automated kind of way, I guess. Won't have time to do any clean topology for this short stream. Just gonna round out those corners. Let's make it look a little less distinct. Those edges with the clay tubes. Couple more. And I'll look at getting the low poly done. So I'll split out some of these. This one. That one. Split these out. Relax on some of them if I make them too distinct, because I don't want to do too many of these steps. I only do a handful. If I make them too distinct, you see the repetition, so I'm just going to avoid that situation. It'll look a bit samey, then you won't have that issue. This sort of stuff's a little bit tedious, but at the moment I'm trying to, in my personal projects, I'm trying to see if I can automate this part of the pipeline using Houdini. Procedural modeling is looking really promising. It's something I recently added to my skill set. I'm trying to do it more and more. It saves so much time. So I'll just do 2 more, and then I'm going to try repeat the rest, and if I do end up needing more to make it not look so repetitive, then I might have to do that, but I'll try to do the minimum first, and then I'll see if I need to do extra. Might be alright, I think, just doing 6, but we'll see. I want to be conscious of time. And of course we can flip these as well to get more variation, so that's always an option. That one turned out pretty good, I think. I think using the orb flatten edge brush actually is pretty good. Get those nice deliberate hard edges. I am kind of going for a more exaggerated kind of look as well, so that helps with that. Just come here and do these edges as well. Oops, going to the flatten brush. I've got my brushes on different number hotkeys, and that helps a lot with speed, I find. So, I think. And the big thing with ZBrush is the default layout kind of sucks. So I think, once you start figuring out what you like and what sort of stuff you use frequently in ZBrush, I think it's a good idea to start setting up your own layout and setting up your own hotkeys. So that'll speed up your workflow by a lot, because the default layout kind of sucks. Tubes and just give it a bit of damage like that. try the flatten edge brush. Just go really heavy-handed with it. Just try to break up a little corner. Go to actually what I'll do is just clear that mask. Didn't turn out as nice as I thought. Give me a bit of cleanup work to do on that step. Really wish it was easy to switch between different mask modes. It's a bit closer to what I was expecting before. Just coming with the orb slash and just do that. I think that's fine for what we need, I think. I think I got my light box set up. Damn. I have some other brushes that I like, but I don't have them on me right now. Yeah. It's fine. What have I got here? That's a bit ugly looking. I haven't got anything cool. The rest I can just do in Substance Painter anyway. That's fine. I just want to add a bit more texture to it, but I can do that in Painter, I think. Alright, cool. We'll see how that goes, and hopefully it's enough variation. I think this one actually needs a bit more of a sculpt, actually, before I jump over to making a low poly version of this to be baked. So, and all these edges are going to pick up nicely in our bake, so we can use that for texturing. Press Control S to save. I might actually undo that step there. I have too many with that cutaway on the corner. I think it'll look too distinct. Yeah, it's probably fine, hey? Just come around, a bit of a clay polish. So I'll just come through. Just want to name these so I can get a bake through. Just put them in order so it's easy for me to name them the same inside Blender. So basically I'll have these with a certain name and I'll be able to have them match name when I bake in Substance Painter so that it knows, so I don't get overlapping bakes pretty much. Want each mesh to overlap the bake. So one high. I might add a 0 to it in case I need more. Shouldn't be the case, but while I'm at it. Let's export that as an FBX. So I'll come to my Z plugin menu and then FBX export to visible, and pretty sure I just want to make sure he's got separate poly. Actually, it doesn't matter too much to be honest. Not for this bake. So visible, yep. Should be fine. Cool. Where are we? Texturing folder, and then I'll make a bake folder. Steps high. So it's exporting. While that's going, I'll come to Blender. So I'm just gonna get the same steps that I sent there. So I'm here, and what I'll do, I'll wait for that to finish first because I'll make my low poly from ZBrush. So that's just exporting. Take a little bit of time. Probably will need an extra row of steps sculpted, but again, we'll see. So it's exported. So I'll do, how dense are these? Pretty dense. So what I'll do, so I won't decimate them because I'll take too long inside ZBrush, but I will just dynamesh them. So that's now just 100,000, which I can send over to Blender just fine. So I'll do this the quick way. What I'll do is I'll zero mesh that. I can make UVs out of that. Or UVs that aren't terrible at least. So you of course get the auto unwrap, like the Z unwrap, but the UV master. But that can be pretty damn bad UVs. So this is my way of approaching doing it quickly. So what I do is I'll come here and then I'll just insert from that one. I'll just save this as a Z tool as well. High poly folder. Let's call it steps. And that's what I'll do rather than inserting it, so it'll just take ages. I'll choose this one already. Yeah, so what I'll do. This is way quicker. Come here and just try and mesh all those. Probably can't see much of a difference. I'm assuming you can see it's much lower res. In that way. So that's hidden, and I'll go to merge visible. So you'll merge together. And now I can come to zero mesher. Yeah, all those zero meshed at once. It's a bit quicker than the other way I was going to do it. So it gives us a zero mesh model. But I think what I'll do is just come here and just double that to 10. Did a bit better of a job. Do 20 maybe. If that's still bad, what I'll do is just, I'll probably subdivide it and then just project it. So just get, I want to get something a bit closer to the original shape of it. So I might just, yeah, do that. And I'll just come in and go delete all that and just reload the sub tool. And I'll just go merge visible on that. That's that one, and then I'll just insert that into, yeah, I believe that's correct. So that's a high res one, yeah. I'll just go projects. Oh, but then it's going to intersect. Hey, yeah, I reckon it's fine. So what I'll do, so I'll just use this version of it. I think that will probably be fine anyway. Yeah, I reckon that'll be fine. Just might up it, and then that's probably the quickest way to get good results, I think. That's pretty close to it, yeah. That would do just fine. So I'll just export it, that, and then I'll just import it into Blender. So we got that now. So it's about UV editing, a tab, and then now what we can do with this is we're going to delete the faces that aren't going to be seen. So I'll just come around. So I'll delete these ones here. So a bunch of these faces are never going to get looked at. And what I should have done is separated it, because it's going to be a bit hard to see right now. But just want to finish up this selection. Just mark that as a seam, and then just delete that. And I'll just press B and separate this to loose parts. I'll just do that to the other ones. So this isn't just about making it like more optimal poly count wise. It's honestly mostly just about texture space. I don't want to give this section like much texture space at all. Otherwise it's just a waste. And it'll make things look lower res than it needs to be. So it's the main reason for getting rid of that. And you could even get rid of these ones too. Just hide these ones here because they're gonna get in my way. So depending on how this was remeshed, I might be able to just do select it like this. If I can, that's cool. Gotta love the blender selection stuff. I'll just go full screen. That's good enough. So what I'll do is I'll hide these and then go into local mode. That'll be easier for me. Come on. Just need this one. Just mark seam here. Actually, I'll change that. What I'll do is connect these 2 points, pressing J. And I'll mark a seam there. And then I'll mark the seam there. Be a good test case on how to cut UVs. I think that's mostly good. Not the best unwrap, but I think it's okay for this little short stream. Shade smooth. Let's go to all of them and just go shade smooth. Make those 2 points. Three more to go. I'll just put these on one texture set. Normally I try to get more things on there, but it's gonna be hard to be very optimal with the little time I have for this. I have to cut corners in some ways, or in a lot of ways really, but just making assets optimized for games takes time. A lot of back and forth. Be cutting corners and doing things in a not so clean way. It doesn't take as long, but yeah. So just cut those points. reckon I can just delete more of that lip there. Oh, so I've got UVs now. I haven't got my plugin set up. Let's see how Blender does with its default pack. It's not too bad. Yeah, it's not too bad. It's alright. Might be better if I just delete those side bits though, I'm thinking, because you won't see those. So just come over here. And I don't want to delete all of it, you need to see a little bit of it. But maybe something like, so better if I just select an edge. Maybe something like this. Yeah. That. Stuff. Might have deleted too much in that one. Find out. That's alright. We got a bit of leeway there, so it's okay. Cool. Oops, went out of local mode. Select those again. Get back into local mode. So that's good. I might just see how those unwrap now. UV's a little bit gross. That's probably fine. I will leave it. For the stream, it's just used to working on mobile games. We're going to be pretty optimal with how to use a UV space, making 3D assets. Always just trying to look for excess geometry that doesn't need to be on the texture sheet. Good. Photograph of this one. that. Delete that. And delete that. Cool. So wrap that. The best pack it can do, apparently. Yeah, that pack will be fine. It's not ideal, but it'll be okay for the stream. Or do more to it. I think just having these little bits flap out like that adds unnecessary padding to each shell, but I'll probably just leave it for now. So I'll just go decimate and just bring that down. That'll be pretty good. Now let's go link modifiers. And then I'll basically bring over these names. So remember how I kind of renamed these ones? So I'll just link that to the same steps. So let's go low. Yep. So, yep, low. And then I'm just going through these and rename those to the correct thing. Cool. Now let's open up Painter. And I suppose we should export it first. Just go into our bake folder, I'll call it step slow. Go new. And texturing bake. Oops, that was the wrong one. I meant bring back. Step slow. And just thinking what that template is. Find out. See how that goes. And so we got our high poly there, which is good, and then it's by mesh name. So, oh, one step I forgot. Actually giving it material. It's called steps. Normally I give like numbers to it in case I do more steps in the future of a game project, but because this is just a small little project, I'll just call it steps. So I'll just reload that. Sorry, did I export that? Cool. It's exported. Where's that going? There it is. Sorry, I just lost the chat window for a second. and we run that bake, and it should. One sec. We got one step, so let's get the right material, but I just got to link those materials to that. And that should be good. Just delete that extra texture set. That should work in theory. What's going on? I might just set up some stuff in Unreal Engine. Let's go master materials. Let's see, we got a pretty good bake from that. Turned out not too bad actually. I still don't think it's going to be enough variation, but it might be fine. We'll see. Might have some tricks up my sleeve that I can do inside Unreal in order to break up that variation. But that's cool. So I think I've got my materials here. If I do, that'll save a lot of time. Just see what else I got here. I think that's kind of cool. I might just leave it. Actually, I might just do one little thing to it. I don't want to be so brown. I'll just... I kind of like that color actually, so just turn that off. Cool. What else have I got here? Oh, no, I won't overcomplicate it. That's fine. I just was hoping for something, yeah, a little less brown still. So I just, yeah, I'll do it the easy way. I'll just take off my edge detail. Up a little bit. And so this layer is set up so I can do, I'll just get rid of that. So I can just have some slight variation in, it's not working. Yeah, so I can just like select a couple of these and they can be a bit darker or something. And then, yeah, so what I'll do, I'll just come here just because I want it to be a bit less saturated, maybe. See what I can pull out of that. And I guess, you know, the sign, with the real test, just seeing an engine and seeing how it feels, but yeah, it looks okay. That's the material I used for, if you guys have seen my work on ArtStation, for the Temple of Time on my Zelda project, so just kind of slapped that on it. I think it looks okay. So I'll just leave it like that. So what I'll do is go to my import folder. So I'll just export it into there. And I'm not sure what this export template's like. I'll just use this one. So it looks good. And just come here. I'm just gonna save this steps. So we just need a textures folder now. So I'm gonna be jumping around a fair bit throughout for the rest of this. Well, I've already been jumping around a fair bit inside this on the stream so far. But if you want my classes, I'll go through it much slower and show you things properly. Just because it's a stream thing, I have to move a lot faster. So we'll just go master material. If I do another stream, I'll probably have one of these master materials already set up, so I don't have to do this stuff. But for now, I'll just do it. I'll just make it by hand for now. So I have to go here and just go to... I've got changing content on. Okay. So I just want something like that on there. I'll just go convert to parameter. CH. Actually, I won't set that up for now. I might do it later on. Just move a little faster. Just plug that into here. Go that to parameter, do N for normal, and I will go create a maps group. Let's do actually. Thought there was a hotkey for this, but there wasn't. So it's just like that. Then I'll do another component mask and get my B channel, and this will be just like a little normal intensity slider I can use. Okay, so I just want to play with that. So this just needs a default texture. If you got straight engine content on, you can get access to a lot of these default textures. And it's good practice not to actually have textures linked inside your project that might get deleted later. So, and this one will be my roughness map. So AO, roughness, and metallic map. That's what I'll do for that. And yeah, I can get a maps group as well, and then plug that stuff straight in. So AO, roughness, and metallic, and plug in that. So cool. So we can create material instance now. I'll call it MI steps. And now from here I can actually link up my textures that I just exported. So that should be all set up. The only thing is I'm going to turn that off. I just need to get back to Blender. And I'll just quickly set up that inside Blender too, so I can actually see how my textures look inside Blender, just give me a bit more visual feedback. So over here, and just link up that texture. So let's see that up here. And I'll get on a normal map now as well. My thing with this though is we got to flip the green channel because Blender uses OpenGL, whereas Unreal Engine uses DirectX. So they have different normal map formats. So I have to invert this, but I'll just put it inside a group, so I don't have to repeat that step. So I'll just invert that, and then go to combine. And I won't worry about the other channels, I'll just use those for now. But with this, what I'm going to do is just group that together. And Actually, I've used been using Houdini for so long, kind of forgotten the hotkey to go back up a level now. Alt G. No. Four. So now I can see that inside Blender, which is nice. Now all I need to do is just place those steps in the right spot. So the right spot, but you know, get them placing these grey box steps that I've done. So actually an incremental save in case I ever want to go back. But so what I'll do now is just move these to a new collection. So I just want to do that so I don't select them. So I might just apply those. Get some action. Alright, cool. I think the best way to place these without being super imprecise, but probably isn't a great way of doing it, to be honest. Suppose what I could do is thinking best way to replace it. Actually, I think I've got an idea, to be honest. So I don't have this be super hard to do, like me placing things manually. So what I'll do is I'll make one of these unique. I'll make all of them unique. Okay, yeah, this should work, I reckon. So I'll make them all unique, and then I will supply those modifiers, edit mode, loose parts to geometry. Okay. Then what I'll do is I'll go to selected, cursor, to selected. So it's going to be a little repetitive for these 6 steps. To cursor, making sure I get the right piece. To selected, cursor, selected, cursor, sorry, so touch selected, cursor, just making sure the pivot point's the same as the grey box step. Selected, cursor, selected, cursor, cool. So we should be able to do now. Those. One's broke. It's weird. They're using the same material. See if we can make them semi-transparent. Okay, that works, and that should be in their own group. Alright. So what I'll do, Just turn off that group. I'll just duplicate these. That's what I should be able to do in theory now, just a bunch of these little steps. Totally random, and just go link. Object data, okay. Might be because they have a scale, I'm thinking. Or no. These have a scale. So I'll just go to apply transformation, scale. And now that should work. Okay, still doesn't work. So I'll just go selection. So apply scale. Object data. Okay, now it should work. So you can just see how that replaces that. And now I can pretty much delete those ones that are overlapping. Okay. So I'm going to select a few of these, link object data. Just trying to be a little random. Those. Cool. Got our steps, and those can get removed from the group. No problem now is I lose. I should preserve this little group here in case I do need to revisit the texture. So I'll just do that. The active element. I'll just move those to a new group. Out of the bait group. So I got my steps. Something overlapping there. Just gotta give that a look. Just like that. That should be good to export now. Let's go rename it. Cool. And we can go to Unreal. You can see it's replaced our old steps. And cool. Not too bad. doesn't look too repetitive. I think it looks okay. I mean, you can see some repetition here and there. Especially because it is modular too. What we could do is do like a variation section or something like that. So I could duplicate that to step 2 or something. And they shouldn't be linked, but I could just grab this group out again. I could just shuffle things around a bit. I could break it up more, to be honest, but we'll see how this feels. Just got a bit destroyed. Some gaps there. Just one thing I want to check out as well was the roughness. So there's a bit of variation there. See if I can get my light to do a little more for the scene. So just close out of this. See what my sun is. Okay, I think we'll leave it up for now. Next thing to tackle is the Banister, I think. So let's get started on that. One thing I might do quickly for this. Sorry, I knew I said I was going to get started on the Banister. I'll just come over here and Add lattice, I'm thinking. And just add a few points to it. Just pushing that sort of imperfection. And that's all non-destructive too, so why not? Cool. We have a few color modes. At least in the old version of this sky, you could have just a few different color modes you can play with. So kind of like where the sun height is, but I'd like it to be more sunsetty, the sky. But I can't see that. You can still do that. It's cool. Okay, from sunrise, sunset and time. Does that do anything? Oh, it's an animated sky. Okay, just curious what that setting was. But sunlight intensity. Skylight and put that back up maybe. I'll just turn that off because it's playing with my lighting. Still reappears though. Post-process volume of the scene. Just delete that. Play now. Oh, still looks like it's doing something. Oh, yeah, let's go to that banister. Could play with lighting settings for ages. So, that's the asset. I want to start texturing now. It's doing a bit more of a modeling pass though, so I'll just do a bit more to that as well. It doesn't quite reach the bottom, so I'll just put that exposure back on. I'll leave the lighting for now. I can play with it for ages. Anyway, so yeah, I need a bit more of a bottom to it. So just self-select. I think it was mostly fine other than that. I might just push this little lip thing out a bit more. More interesting shapes out of these corners. Alright, I'll leave that for now, and then I'll commit to that shape. I'll just over here. What I'll do. Oops, wrong button. And let's do the same thing to those. Something went wrong. That, just give that a last little test before I commit to texturing it. Must be named differently, yeah. I think what I can even do is, oh, that's fine. Just because it exports based on the object's name and because I've duplicated it, it's got a different name, so. But I think that looks pretty good. Still, the bottom doesn't stretch out far enough. It's fine. I was just surprised by that. Thought I overdid it, but apparently not. Now that works. into play mode again, just seeing how things are feeling. Yeah, that's fine. Alright, let's commit to texturing this thing now. So similar thing as the steps, I'll just bring it into in ZBrush, just give it a quick sculpt pass. And yeah, I believe I already saved this. So it's good. So I'll just use subtool and just import that J. Two things are slanted a little bit, and that's because I've done something wrong. That's fine. Let's fill that hole. Just export that again. Just keep an eye on my export settings, because yeah, I've had some weird bug where it offsets things. So that's fine. Yeah, cool. So I can try just crease things. And then I'll try to go dynamic sub D. Okay. Things aren't stitched together. So I want a bit more fidelity inside this bit here. What I'll do, so I'll just select these rings here. Probably the easiest way to do it for now. Five. That should be good. Similar thing for the bottom as well, I reckon. See a little more fidelity out of it. Otherwise, though, those hard edges are going to bake. Isn't ideal. So just going to make sure we got both ends. But now I reckon it's ready to be pessinated. Just suss the resolution again. So again, I can't get a good resolution out of it. Could try Dynamesh and see how that looks. Let's get like a 6 or something. It's doing no good. I lost a step there, so I'll just do that again. Let's see how that goes. Dynamesh is a little slower though. The finish. So that's pretty good resolution, I think. But so we've got 4 million polygons now. Still pretty bad. Put that OBJ again. So what I'll do is I'll just go. So what I'll do is I'll clone this. It's because ZBrush is importing my stuff at a not so useful scale for Tezamate. I'll just set that to 1. It's kind of like a little workaround to get things at a better scale. Just delete that original. There we go. It's closer to what I wanted, but probably a bit too dense. Cool. I reckon I can work with that. 7 million polygons though, a bit dense. It's cool. So let's give it a quick smooth. So that stuff's probably going to bake out with it. If I was working in a production environment, I'd probably spend a bit of time to remove that stuff by doing more of a sub-D kind of workflow maybe in the situation, so I can get creasing. But I think for this, I think it's going to be fine. I think all that's going to turn up anyway. But yeah, some of the things are steps coming in, just giving those edges a bit more damage and stuff. Might have froze. No, we're good, we're good. A little bit more to damage these edges up a bit. Get a good curvature bake. I think they're more heavy-handed so I can get this done. A bit more heavy-handed so I can get this done. I think it's getting pretty close. Just trying to get some of these edges feeling a little less noisy, I guess. They look a bit more deliberate, I think. A bit more directed. Just trying to find some interesting shapes in those corners, and then running clay polish over it. Clay polish is really awesome. Once you know what you need to feed it to get kind of the forms you want, it saves a lot of time. And I've got it just on a hotkey, so use it pretty often. this. I'm in pretty heavy-handed there. Just destroy that cornice. Thinking for this little bottom section, I'll use a tiling texture, I'm thinking. What I might have to do though is I'll just save quickly because this can crash sometimes. So I'll just do clear correct and then opposite way. Not that way either. Oh, sorry, it's the... So I don't use these ones often. That's what I want. This can crash sometimes, so we'll find out if it does. It's pretty simple though, so it should work. And it did, so... I'll basically just model the other bit in Blender, and that'll just be like a tiling texture. How much time have I got? So I won't be able to make that texture today, but probably next stream. This I'll probably do a similar workflow of steps. So I'll just do like a rushed remesh and decimate just to get it kind of game resi. Not the cleanest workflow, but it's fine for this. The trim dynamic. Why start off? Save. It's probably better for this sort of stuff, to be honest. Explore that one. I'm here. Go to high poly. Banister 1. I'll just clone that. And let's do a low. I think that's, I can go a bit denser than that, I think. Please try 6. It's remeshing while that's running. I might just come back in my environment. So that was terrible. Try 20. I might have to do, like, worst case scenario, I'll have to use the original model, which is what I would probably do normally. But if this, yeah, I think we can get good results of this. I think it might be I need to get like a half decent zero mesh, and then I'll probably subdivide it and project the high poly onto it, and that will give me a decent low poly from there. So it's always a little bit of problem solving with this sort of stuff. So I'm surprised I can't get anything better than that. Very surprising. It's worst case scenario, I'll use the original model I use. I should be able to get something decent. Is here a mesher? It's running. I might just go back to this scene. This is the next section I want to tackle. But what I might do for this is I'll just subdivide it. Sorry, I'll add some edge loops to it. It's like a mirror modifier on it. Doesn't seem like it does. Okay. Just add a mirror modifier. They need to come together like that. And then let's go to edge loops. Did a terrible job. Okay, see if I can work with that. Still pretty surprised here. I actually can't figure it out. So just find my high poly, so I'll just try that one a few times. Oh, that's okay, that's fine. And I'll just project that. While it's going, I'll just start getting this prepared. So I'm just going to UVs, so when I go into ZBrush I can separate them. I can separate the polygroups by UV shells, and I can split them apart. So that's still running. Hopefully it actually does it. I'll just give this a look and see if I can make that look better at all. So I might start preparing this. Still running, might take a bit of time. So that needs a modifier too. So we can do a similar thing, just like, actually won't separate them. What I'll do is I'll just make some seams there. It's wrong hotkey. So that finished. So what I'll do is I'll UV this one, and then I guess what I'll do is try to estimate one of the higher sub D ones. So just save that. It's a pretty rough workflow, but running on a pretty short amount of time. So we'll just import that OBJ. So I'll just come here. Delete those bottom bits. Pretty rough UVs. Oh, one thing I gotta check first. Hopefully this... What's the default settings? Does this preserve? Ah, it doesn't. Rip. Sorry, I gotta redo that again. Probably the quickest way, yeah. Just because I want to keep the vert order on that. I don't know why that isn't on by default. It's super frustrating, but it shouldn't take too long to repeat that. Now that I think about it, the easiest way to do this might be if I export that. So I can export a higher. That one should be enough, I reckon, for a bag. So I'll export that version of it, I think. So hopefully it doesn't take too long to import, but find out. It's alright. And because you got the multi-resolution stuff now, so I can just unsubdivide it hopefully. And yeah, it looks like it worked, so that's a better workflow. If I can actually delete faces, that is. I'm pretty sure I can. And yeah, it looks like that's fine. That's good. So might run a little over 2 hours on the stream just because I want to get this textured. Shouldn't be too much longer. So I'll just kind of connect those points up. Really? That's fine. Alright. That should give me an okay unwrap. Hopefully. Yeah, it's not bad. I could get a better pack, probably. But I think that's fine for now. I mean, I could come here, split these bottom bits off. Yeah, it's better. And then what I'll do is I'll just decimate that. Try to save quickly. Oof. So I'll just call that Banister 1. And what I probably should have done is export this. And this one, what I'll do is I'll just export it as an OBJ because I'm not doing anything fancy with a bag like I did with the last one. So texturing bag, I'll just call it. And OBJs export a lot faster than FBXs, so yeah. So I'll just export that. Oh, it's getting slow. That's exported. I think one thing I forgot though was to give it material. Incremental save. So I want to apply modifiers, but I don't want to have any anxiety about losing data. So if I ever need to go back, I can. I'm lucky I saved because my Blender likes to crash when I go to wireframe mode. So let's just reopen that. Texturing, bake. Banister one low. Start a new. I'll just rename that high. And I'll just put that on always because there's only one. Yep, should be good. It'll take a little while to bake. I wonder how big that file was. It was a little dense. Shouldn't take too long. Just depends what processor this computer's got. I think so while OBJs export faster out of ZBrush, I think FBX is load quicker, I think. I'm not so sure. Dang, it's taking longer than I thought. Might have been better to do FBX then. See what my computer's up to. It's not working that hard really. It's probably was a bad idea putting on the network drive though. I think it slows things down a fair bit. So that's all baked. I just want to let's call this Banister 1. So I'm just going to reload my step, my other scene, just because I forgot to save that as a smart material. So I'll just discard that. I did save it though, so stone pale. I'll just go to my Banister scene. That's all exported, and then from this side what I'll do is I'll just Shift D to duplicate that. It's taking a while, I don't know why. Not super dense, so I'll just move that to my bake folder. Sorry, my bake collection. So my bake collection, just for like in case I ever want to rebake things, got those in the correct position, because if they're somewhere else it's not going to bake properly, so that's why that's there. And what I'll do is I'll just separate this bit. I'll delete the rest. I'll just move that bit down. I'll add that. And I'll just call this stone. Oh, bricks. do. So just duplicate that. That's the 01. Oh, I didn't name it correctly. Oh well. And for this one, just turning off sRGB. It's coming together a bit. So that's the banister done. Cool. Alright, I reckon we'll leave it there. Got a little bit of texturing done. Steps and then banister. You still need some tiling textures, so I reckon we'll do that next week. With the biggest priority. Hopefully I'll be able to do like a 5th stream maybe, because I probably need that time. Still got the rails to do. And this arch is going to be a bit of a job as well. So yeah, thank you guys for tuning in. And I'll see you guys next week.